Hi, good evening. This is Steve Adler. Got a minute? All right, so we're going to go through the numbers real fast. There are a couple of charts I want to talk about that Council and Commissioners Court was shown today by Dr. Escott. And then we're going to talk real briefly about the City Council meeting for tomorrow. But let's begin with the numbers. This is the dashboard we always go to. Hospitalizations, 18 today. The number continues to kind of level off. You can see there in the yellow zone, but still low. New cases, 47. That's really low, and that's really good to see. Cases not as reliable as hospitalizations. In the infectivity in our city, that's the number in the bottom left-hand corner, 6.2. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Those mint-colored numbers are the 7-day averages. Janine, let's go to the next chart, and we'll talk about those mint-color ones by looking at the next side. The numbers coming down, maybe leveling off. We just can't tell. 133 in our hospitals tonight, 7-day average 147. ICUs 48 tonight, 54 7-day average. Ventilators 29 tonight, 34 is the 7-day average, so we continue to move down. That's good. 385 people have died. That is no new deaths in the last 24 hours, and that's a real good thing to see. So let's take a look at the University of Texas dashboard. This is one of the reasons why I'm concerned. The University of Texas dashboard not only looks at hospitalization, but is also tracking cell phones in the area. And it looks like we have a lot more movement than we've been having in the past. Usually that kind of movement of people around translates into increased number of infections. So you can see the R number that was under 1 for the longest period of time now has gone over 1 to 1.03. That gives us a 75% chance that the virus is probably escalating. The epidemic is probably growing in our city. You can look at the chart. It's basically flat because it's just barely above 1, but it is a concern at this point. We have to watch this. Where numbers are good, but within a matter of just weeks, that can reverse. So we're going to keep our eyes on the numbers. I want you to take another look at some of the other charts that Dr. Escott showed to the City Council and to the Commissioners Court today. And let's focus on that infectivity. This is the percentage of people that are taking the test that are showing up as positive. We saw on the dashboard that the number was 6.2. Let's see if we can blow that up a little bit, maybe get a little closer to it. Each one of those green bars is a week. The bar that's all the way over to the right is week 33, which is actually 2 weeks ago right now. We're trying to get the data better so we can show you last week's result, but you can see that the percent of people that have the virus from among those tested was a high of 19.2. It's now down to 6.2. We need to get the community below 5. And not just the whole community, but all parts of the community. We're going to be watching that number. The number lower that goes, the less of a chance you're going to run into somebody who has the virus. The lower that goes, the better chance we can open schools without having infections, and we can open businesses. Let's take a look at the individual populations by demographic. You can see week 32. Week 33 is the one that we just saw overall in the city at the 6.2, but then you can see week 34 and week 35. There's 2 outliers in there. The green bars are going up and the gray bar is higher even though it's coming down. The green bar is American Indian or Native Alaskan. We have so few numbers in our city that's not really a trend to be looking at. But take a look at the gray number. That's our Hispanic or Latino community. You can see how they're trailing the balance of the community. The other groups under 5%. Latino is above that. We have to bring that down. That number in the Latino community right now is just above 10. Now, that's a lot better than it's been in each of the weeks before, so it's moving in the right direction. But we're not going to celebrate until everybody's in the same place. But I'll tell you that even with those numbers coming down, we present risks and things can change. Let's go and take a look at the last chart. This is the risk chart. We're in area 3. If we drop down below 10, we could get to the blue area. This is the risk chart we saw before. But there's something real important I want you to know as we get closer to 10, and that's that we can't rest. Here, the last time we were at 17. You can't see it here because I'm just barely in the screen there. If you want to pull down that one, here's the chart from July, from June 12th. You can see we were at 17 back then. That's about where we are right now for a 7-day running average. But less than a month later, on July 7th, by July 7th, we were at 75 and we were in the red area. That's about 3 weeks worth of time. So if we let up, if we go into this Labor Day weekend coming up and we're too close to each other, we're not wearing masks, we're going to the bars now that the governor is open, which I wish he had not opened at this point because the infection is not far enough. If you're going to go to a bar, make sure you're wearing a mask. Sit down, talk to a few people. Don't be drinking without a mask, milling around and talking to a lot of people. It's going to make us say things can change on a dime. And what's putting at risk if we do that are keeping schools open and keeping businesses open more broadly. All right, masking, distancing, please stay diligent. I just want to close by talking about the city council meeting that's coming up on Thursday. We had our work session today. We had a chance to get some briefings, including the virus briefing. When we meet on Thursday, we're going to approve a resolution from council members Harper Madison and Flanagan Kitchen, Poole, and the Mayor Pro Tem Garza. It's to take this Project Connect initiative, the transit initiative that we're all going to vote on in November, and we're going to make sure that we have this $300 million investment associated with that for anti-displacement strategies. Well, on Thursday, we're going to give that a little bit more detail, make sure that the impacted communities are participating in the identification of our key metrics, our performance measures, and also putting in a guarantee that if we start missing those measures, then the city council will meet. The Austin Housing Finance Corporation is going to approve another 171 units of permanent supportive housing. This is to take people that are moving from streets into homes, out of tents, off corners, and into homes. This is the kind of work that we need to be doing in our city. We've been promising for a long time. We're also going to get done the contracts and with our appointees, our auditor, the city clerk. And we also talked pretty exciting about the future of Waltery Long Park. It's on the east side of town. We have a park in our city that is 7 times larger than Zilker Park. And we're in the early stages of planning that. It's going to be exciting, and for generations to come, people will remember this early planning. Hey, a lot of things going on. Maintain the diligence. Please take care. Be safe.